Welcome back again. This is example 2. We are working with the mean, median, mode again for this one, except we are doing it again by hand. Look forward to a video coming up where we're doing it with the calculator as a shortcut. So this one reads, at the meat market, bins of crabs are shipped in from Denver daily. The total weight for the past 2 weeks is listed in kilograms below. So now this is a different occurrence than we had before. I want to bring your attention to, say, for example, the first row. In the first row, we are told weight. Now, weight means that this is 11 through 17 kilograms. But then we are told frequency. Frequency means how many times it occurs. So if I were to list this out, you don't need to necessarily do this. I'm going to do it down below. We have 11 occurring twice because it shows up with a 2 for a frequency. And then 12 shows up 3 times. And then 13 shows up 5 times, and it continues such as that. You can see why this is going to be unnecessary for you to write it down, because that's a whole lot of writing that you're involved with, and you don't need to worry about coming up with this because we can do this smartly. So if that's the case, then we're going to go ahead and solve this using a smarter version. So let's start off with the mode, the easiest one. Frequency tells me that at 5, 13 has got to be the most frequent. So the mode in this case is 13. See how nice and easy that was with the frequency graph? Secondly, we have the median. So remember when we were marking things off? We're going to do the same type of thing, but with frequencies. So I'll do this in green. There's 2 frequencies at 11, so I'm going to cross that off. And then there's 2 frequencies at 17. However, we have the case where there are 4 frequencies at 16. So if I'm going to cross out 4, I've got to do 3 at 12, and then I'll do 1 of the 13s, so that would leave 4 remaining. This is very important. See how I wrote the number 4? That's letting me know that I've only crossed out 1 of them. So now, same thing. If I cross out 1 of the 14s, because notice that 0 I skip, I would cross out 1 of the 13s, being left with 3. This is just like our previous example, example 1, where now even though I don't know, say, hypothetically, which of the 13s are left, it's got to be 13. So my median is 13 as well. That's just a coincidence in this case because we happen to have 13 as the mode. It doesn't always have to be like that. Lastly, let's go ahead and look at my mean. So with the mean, we again start off with x bar. X bar equals sigma of x's over n. Now again, you don't need to show the intermediate step that I'm going to show, but I just want to point out, if you have 2 11s, so 11 occurring twice, add them up, they become 22, or 11 times 2. If you have a 12, and you have 3 of them, 12 plus 12 plus 12 is 36, or 3 times 12. So if I multiply each of these by the corresponding number of frequencies, so 13 times 5 is 65, 14 times 1 is 14, 15 times 1 is 0, 16 times 4 is 64, and 17 times 2 is 34. They come up to a grand total of, in this circumstance, 235. So because it's 235, that is the number that I'm going to write over here, 235. And pause the video and go back and get it if you're uncertain as to where these things came from. Now, if I add up the frequencies, 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 2, I get 17. Again, that number n is the total sum of the frequencies. So after that, you just divide. And in this circumstance, we get a nice and healthy number of, I guess it's not on my paper, 235 divided by 17, 13.824. and then we hence have our mean. So all this stuff you can do using the calculator once again. I'm going to show you those shortcuts coming up, but for those that don't have a calculator and those of us that just want to know how to do it by hand, because it is a good skill to have, we can just follow through as I was doing with here to find mean, median, and mode using a now frequency table where it's not directly listed to us. One more thing about the frequency table that I'm going to say is that you'll notice that this is a numerical order. That's a plus to us because with the previous data, we had to remember raw data. And we don't have to worry about the raw data. In this circumstance, it's already ordered for us. We'll see you again for example 3 in just a moment.